this one, although it's excuse me, although it's quite a lengthy email, I think most of it it's quite straightforward. There's not really much room for any misunderstanding or ambiguity. Yeah, so it sort of shows just sort of quickly. So we use this command here, the docker image ls, which if from day 2, excuse me, if from day 2 when we pulled the hello world image, then you haven't changed anything on your system, you haven't uninstalled Docker or played around with anything, you should just be able to run this command here and then see the hello world image that we pulled yesterday. Yeah, and the rest of it, then we go on to run that container. I seem to have made a little bit of a formatting error here, look. I haven't highlighted or bolded it like I did here. Yeah, so we'll run these commands, but as I say, there's not all this writing. It's mostly sort of description and things that we're, I explain it quite well in the email, and there's not really much to get confused with, as I say. So let's just have a look. When I run docker image ls, it's worth noting at this point as well, these commands, there are sort of deprecated versions of them, so you'll see different ways that you can actually achieve the same thing. It's where Docker have updated the API and they've kept it backwards compatible. So all of these commands now, things like ls just stands for list. They've put them in namespaces, so you could do docker image ls, or you could do docker container ls, or I can't think of another one at the minute, but that'll do. They're all sort of namespace, but so let me just show you what this results in. So you can see I've got a few images here, things that I've been playing around with, but the important one that we looked at was this hello world one here. That's the one that I pulled not too long ago for day 2, for the day 2 video. But just to show you, I'm pretty sure, I haven't used these for a while, but I'm pretty sure we can do that and get the same thing. So albeit it seems nicer, it's shorter, it's less typing, but you're better off, if you're just starting out with Docker, you're better off using the namespace commands. I'm pretty sure as well that so you can do docker ps. Oh, that's containers, I do apologize. So not to confuse things, but I just thought I would sort of mention that, because when you see the different methods, or you're like, why is there different ways to do it? It's just because they've updated the API. So what we want is docker image and then ls on the end of it. So if we list that out, as I mentioned, the one that we're interested in is here, so it's the first one. I'm just going to go back to the email. All we do, so we list out the image, and then we need to run this this command. I've probably skipped over this. This is to create our first container. I don't remember saying that at the beginning or not, but so the idea of this email and this video is to create our container, and we're going to run our hello world image. All we need at the minute is to be able to reference our image to build the container on, because an image is like the instructions for the container. It's like the exe on Windows file, like an executable file to create an instance of one of your apps or a program that you've got on your laptop or PC. Some people have described it as like a recipe, like a cake recipe. So the image is the recipe, and when you run that image, it's like baking the cake basically. So the command that we need now is this one here, the docker run, and it's this bit. So you'll notice I use this kind of syntax. That doesn't mean that you need the square brackets, it just means that you need the image ID, which is here. So I'm going to go back to Commander, and I'm going to do Docker run, and then I'm going to just, for Commander, you can double click this and then right click and it'll copy it for you. It copies it where the cursor is. I'm going to hit enter. And you'll see, as I mentioned in the previous tutorial or video, that all this image does, or this container, is to, because it's a hello world one, is to just print out some information. So it says things like your Docker client contacted the Docker daemon. The Docker daemon pulled the hello world image from Docker Hub. Blah blah blah. You can read through that. Try something more ambitious. You can run your Ubuntu container. You can have a play around with those if you want. Just go back to the email. So you can see I took a snippet of that's exactly what should be logged out, and congratulations, you created your first container. Well done. It's as easy as that. Hopefully you know what you've done. If you don't worry about it. Hopefully it'll become more clear.